Hi, I'm Sasha, and I have a crazy story to tell you. But before I do, please like and subscribe. When I started basic school, I hardly ever talked to anyone. I was so shy and quiet that some of my classmates thought I was a dummy. My kindergarten teacher even told my parents to take me to a doctor and find out what was wrong with me. But Dad completely lost his temper with her.
Are you dumb? She is too beautiful for there to be anything wrong with her. Why don't you save your advice for some other real dumb kid?
But my shyness just didn't go away. I didn't talk much to my classmates, and they thought I was a snob. As if. But no matter what, my shyness just didn't go away. I didn't talk much to my classmates, and they thought I was a snob. As if, once, when I was in the first grade, some of my classmates asked me to share my candy with them. But I just stared back at them and didn't reply.
Who do you think you are, you dumb girl? I said. Give us candy.
I didn't say a word and started walking away. They got angrier and circled me. Suddenly, I opened my mouth and let out an ear-splitting scream. They were so shocked to actually hear my voice that they just stood there stupidly, and I managed to escape. But at home, I was a completely different person. I was super chatty and an awesome storyteller. In fact, sometimes my parents begged me to stop talking because I was giving them headaches. Once, I kept them awake all night, telling them a story I had in my mind about some princess. And because I didn't know how to write well, they spent all night writing it for me. It ended up about 90 pages long.
I will do this every night, sweetheart. I can't believe I have such a beautiful daughter in my life.
Dad just worshipped me because I was pretty. Mom was different and loved me no matter what. I was still too shy to talk outside my home. But people never stopped trying to become friends with me. And I know why now. It's only because they thought I was cute. But I had to admit, I kind of liked it. When I was in the 3rd grade, one boy threw a piece of paper at me that said, "Your smile makes me happy, but your words make me happier." Can I hear them? I blushed, and from that moment, I tried to talk more. So I made new friends and also started taking part in different school activities. When I was in the 8th grade, my parents helped me publish my first short novel. But it was a failure, and people didn't like it. I got sad. Dad didn't take it well and sued the publishers saying it was their fault. But of course, he lost the case, and I decided to take a break from writing. Until one morning when our class teacher walked into the classroom with a tall, athletic boy. It really looked like the boy wasn't too happy to join us.
Everyone, welcome your new classmate, Liam.
Liam had a deep frown and a stupid smile at the same time. He had this funny Grinch face. The teacher told Liam to take a seat right next to me, and I gave him a friendly smile.
That's the ugliest smile I've ever seen. Have you heard of toothpaste? I can buy it for you. If you don't have money, you can pay me back. Maybe with a kiss.
Oh, wow! I was about to respond when the teacher started the lesson. It was a French lesson, and he looked completely blank. Hey, do you need any help?
From you? You don't look very smart, and I don't need help from a girl when I can use Google Translate on my phone. So buzz off.
What a jerk! The next day, when the teacher returned the assignments, Liam looked really angry to see a big F on his.
What kind of dumb school is this? How can Google be wrong?
I took a look at his paper and burst out laughing. That's not even French, you idiot! You translated the whole thing to Spanish! He crumpled up his assignment into a ball and threw it at my face. But I couldn't stop laughing. Boy, how could someone be this stupid? I figured out soon enough that Liam wasn't interested in learning or making friends. Eventually, the whole school realized that Liam was just interested in bullying others. Sometimes, he would snatch students' lunch and threaten to beat them if they reported him. I was one of those unlucky students. But after the 3rd time he did it, I reported him to the principal and he was put in detention. When Liam returned from detention, he looked straight into my eyes.
You are going to pay for this.
Well, you should know your limits. If you ever try to bother me again, I swear you will regret it. And I might even tell Dad.
Aw, Daddy's daughter, look at me. I'm so scared. Oh, Mommy, hug me.
Once he tried to knock my books out of my hands, when suddenly a bunch of boys behind him came and said,
"Dude, why are you being like this with a pretty girl like her?"
"Wait, what? So if I wasn't pretty, that would be okay?
Well, pretty girls deserve special treatment, you know. So now we're all here to stop him. He can't annoy pretty girls.
Well, thanks for your caring, but girls can defend themselves. And I pushed through them and left.
Told you guys, girls are crazy, especially the pretty ones. Now get lost, all of you, or else.
Liam did whatever he wanted. It seemed he wasn't afraid of anyone, not even the principal. I really hated him. One rainy day, Liam came to school completely drenched, and it seemed like he'd fallen sick. He was shivering non-stop, and the principal said he'd call his parents to take him home. But to everyone's surprise, Liam screamed.
No, I'm fine. I don't want to go home. Please let me stay.
You have to go home and rest.
No, I don't. I could run a marathon right now, just some water, and I'll be good to go.
Later at recess, I found him huddled on the bleachers, and he was hugging a worn-out teddy bear. Dude, is that a stuffed toy?
Don't insult Mr. Smith.
Oh, he has a name? Is he like your little baby? Is he adopted or did you give birth to him?
Shut up, can't you leave me alone?
You're sick and you need to go home.
You look much, prettier when you're quiet. Now stop acting like you care.
Have to be like this. I'm trying to be nice.
Who asked you? Mind your own business.
As soon as he was fine, he went right back to being the jerk he always was. I started writing about him in my notebook. Liam was such an interesting person for a villain. I couldn't believe that having someone as horrible as him in my life was actually making me want to get back to writing. One day when I was leaving the cafeteria, Liam blocked my way and demanded that I give him my lunch. We're not in kindergarten, idiot. And I ate it. And I'm not afraid of you. Now shoo. As I walked past him, he suddenly pulled at my bag and everything spilled out. A couple of boys immediately ran over to help me, and I gathered my stuff and left angrily. What an immature jerk. When I went home, I found out that my notebook was missing. I rushed straight to the locker the next morning and was going through all my stuff frantically when I heard Liam.
Behind me looking for this?
Give that back, you jerk! He threw it at me, giving me that stupid smile of his.
Got what I needed.
And with that, he walked away. I had no idea what he was up to, but I found out soon enough. Later that day, the whole school was gathered in the gym for a lecture on fire safety. As we stood waiting around for it to start, suddenly, Liam jumped onto the stage and tapped the mic for everyone's attention.
Ha ha ha. While we are all gathered here to talk about our safety in school, I just want to say, I don't feel safe at all. How can I when I have a stalker right here?
Oh no, 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 no. Just then, the large screen behind him flickered and images from my notebook showed up. As the sketches and the things I'd written about him flashed on the screen, I wanted to disappear.
And it's none other than the girl everyone adores. Sasha, she's obsessed with me. Guess just because you're pretty on the outside doesn't mean you can't be a total creep inside. So everyone be careful. You might wake up someday to find yourself a villain in her novel. She's cuckoo.
As everyone's eyes turned to me, I could feel panic rise in my chest.
But it's okay, sweetie. I can still be your boyfriend. Want to hang out sometime?
As I ran out of the gym, I turned around and said, "You're bad. I hate you." As I walked into the school the next day, my legs were trembling. I just stared down at my feet as I entered the classroom. The lesson started, and when the teacher asked me to read my essay out loud, I just looked down and shook my head. Just as everyone was leaving for the cafeteria, Liam hung back.
Hey, Sasha, are you okay? If this is about the gym thing, everyone knows it was just a harmless joke.
I just stared at him silently with angry tears and walked out of the school. This time, he responded and looked a bit guilty. Liam didn't come to school the next few days. I don't know why, but I actually felt worried. One day, he finally showed up. "Hey, I still don't like you, but I made sure to make notes for you when you came back. And no, girls aren't dumb. We can be emotional sometimes, and that's something we're proud of." Just then, to my shock, Liam broke down and started to cry.
Sasha, I'm really sorry. I don't know why I'm this way. I just act out because of things going on in my own life.
Then he told me about how his mother had passed away when he was 6, and he was left all by himself with his stepdad.
He's mean and stupid and doesn't even take care of me. And one day, when I'm old enough, I'm gonna punch him in the face.
I finally saw why Liam was like that. He was just a frustrated kid who needed help. Next day, during lunch, Liam jumped on one of the tables and announced something. Everyone got quiet and listened to him.
Hey everyone, I'm just here to apologize for everything I did to all of you. I still think some of you are weird, and I don't like most of you, but that didn't give me the right to treat anyone like that. So, as they say in French, lo siento.
Dude, that's Spanish. Just get down. Everyone burst into laughter, and Liam gave me a hug.
Thank you for lighting up my life. I promise I will become a better person. No, not really. Only under one condition: make me the irresistible, handsome, great hero in your novel.
Helping Liam become a better person is my greatest achievement. Now he is a medical doctor with a beautiful wife, and he named his child Sasha after me. And now I'm a famous writer.
My mom was a popular Italian actress. So right since I was a toddler, I was used to the paparazzi going berserk the moment I stepped out in public. And honestly, I loved being in the spotlight. Hello, guys! Ready for some new poses? I always knew I wanted to be an actress like Mom. So I begged her to take me to auditions. I'd get in front of the camera and everyone would go nuts.
Mamma mia, Isabella, you're a born actor.
Well, that was kind of true. Mom said I was a very expressive baby. And when I was in the 2nd grade, I pretended for a whole year that I was some celebrity whose life was being secretly recorded. Thanks to my natural acting skills, I was already a successful actress. By the time I was 15, my life was almost perfect. But things started going downhill quickly after that. Mom lost some film contracts to younger actresses, and she started getting plastic surgeries to look younger. A few of them went horribly wrong. Mom, what happened to your nose? You kind of look like the Joker.
Shush! I know what I'm doing, Isabella.
But Mom ended up looking so weird. No one wanted to cast her in their films anymore. This broke her heart. And she slowly transformed into this wild party animal who dated a new guy every month. And the worst part? She was blowing tons of money, buying expensive gifts for them. Mom, I just saw your boyfriend kissing one of our maids. He's a total jerk.
Oh, really? Then I guess I'll give that limited edition Rolex watch to my next boyfriend.
Mom kept going around with the biggest buttheads on the planet and spending money like water. Her falling reputation in film circles affected me too. And in a matter of a few months, we were both sitting at home with no work. Then Mom tried one business idea after another, but nothing worked out. And soon enough, we exhausted all our savings. Even the banks kicked us out, and all of our relatives turned us away. I was so angry at Mom for getting us into this mess, and the paparazzi were having a field day selling news about our downfall. But one night, Mom walked into my room and sat on my bed.
Isabella, I'm so sorry about everything. Oh, how I just wish that American business was in my name. That could have saved us right now.
What business?
I invested in a perfume business with my friend in the US a few years back, and it became really successful. But it's entirely in her name.
Why?
I didn't want to pay the taxes.
Oh my God, that was typical Mom.
Last year, I had a fight with her, and now that witch won't give me my share of the investment back.
What if I go to the US and talk to her? Mom loved the idea, and I took the next flight to the US. When I reached Mom's friend's house, she looked pleased to see me.
Wow, you're as pretty as your mom. Or as pretty as she used to be once.
Thank you? I think you know why I'm here.
Your mom and I are childhood friends, and you're very welcome in my house. Stay as long as you like.
But I'm talking about Mom's investment.
What's the hurry, Isabella? We'll talk about this unpleasant business later.
The next day, I kept trying to remind her of Mom's money, but she simply wouldn't talk about it. I knew this was not going to be easy, but I was determined to get our money back from that witch. One day, as I was leaving her study, I bumped into a boy around my age. I figured he was Mom's friend's son, and for some reason, he was dressed like Michael Jackson.
Hi, I'm Will, but I guess you already know that.
How would I know your name?
I know yours!
That's because I'm famous. Ugh, why is everyone here so stupid?
Hey, I'm not stupid. In fact, I might just be the solution to all your problems. Mom told me why you're here. I can help you get your money back in a month. Mom will do anything I say. Trust me. But on one condition.
And what's that?
You have to fake date me in front of my ex. She dumped me last month for another guy, and I'd love to show her that I'm with someone like you. You're a great actress. It shouldn't be a problem.
I stared at him and thought about it. Fake dating this weirdo wasn't something I was looking forward to, but I really needed that money. We have a deal. You'll get me my money in a month, and I'll make sure your ex eats her heart out and runs back to you. The next morning, I was nervous about going to a new school in a foreign country. But when I got there, kids practically jumped on me.
You're that Italian actress, Isabella, right?
I saw your toilet cleaner commercial. You looked like a goddess cleaning toilets with your perfect hands.
Just then, a guy took off his t-shirt and asked me to sign it. I obliged my fan happily, and soon, all the guys were doing that. I was loving this place. But just then, a teacher came and told everyone to put their shirts back on. What a buzzkill! I looked for Will to show me around school, but he simply disappeared. Sometime later, I found him in the cafeteria in a corner with a guy who seemed to be bullying him. There was a pretty blonde girl with them, too. The bully took out a paper from his pocket and started shouting,
"Attention, everyone. Here's a song that our lover boy Will once wrote. Mia, Mia, you're as sweet as honey. I'll buy you gifts with my money. Your hair is silky smooth. I even like your wisdom tooth."
The girl who I guessed was Will's ex looked really uncomfortable.
Stop it. You're embarrassing him.
But obviously that jerk just kept laughing and going on. I walked over and snatched the paper from him. Heck, what is wrong with you? You're such a rude donkey.
And Will, I didn't know you wrote so well. Babe, I'm so glad I met you in Italy last summer.
That caught Mia's attention.
Wait, last summer? As in before Will and I dated?
Don't worry, we didn't start talking again until an hour after you broke up. Mia turned red and walked away with her moron boyfriend.
Whoa! Did you see how jealous she looked? You're awesome!
Tell me something I don't know. By the way, that song was awful.
I promise I've gotten better since.
For the first time, I saw Will smile and noticed his cute dimples. The next day, Will turned up at school wearing a t-shirt with my photo printed on it, and it had Sugar Boo written in bold letters. And at lunch, he was standing on a chair in the cafeteria waving me over.
Isabella, the love of your life is here!
It was so freaking embarrassing. But just as I was pulling him down, Mia walked in. So I grabbed Will's collar and kissed him. Babe, I miss you so much. It's been 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 23 seconds since I last saw you.
Oh, my sugar boo. I'm sure it must have hurt when you fell from heaven. Is there an airport nearby? Or is my heart taking off?
God, he could win an Oscar for overacting. Later that day, I gave Will some tips on how to be a cool boyfriend. No more sleazy pickup lines or cringy songs.
But I read online that girls want their boyfriends to write songs for them.
Yeah, if they are good at it, which you are not, my friend. You just get me chocolates and flowers. Luckily, Will turned out to be a fast learner. We kept fake dating for a few weeks, and to be honest, it was fun. I even took him to the mall one day and gave him a complete makeover. The next day at school, I could see jaws drop when we walked hand in hand. Will was loving being popular, but the idiot was still hung up on Mia.
Our fake dating is working. I caught Mia looking at us 17 times today.
Come on, do you still want to date Mia? I don't think she's anything special. And with your new looks, any girl would go out with you.
Any girl? Will you go out with me? I mean, for real?
That question took me by surprise.
See, the problem is your life's always been so perfect that you have no idea what rejection feels like.
I wasn't rejecting you. And just so you know, my life is far from perfect. I'm here in a foreign country, miles away from home, just because my mom blew all our money, and I can't even land a movie role. But the point is, you deserve better than Mia.
Maybe you're right. Okay, now you stop frowning, or you'll get wrinkles on your pretty face.
He gently pinched my cheek, and for some reason, I felt butterflies in my tummy. Weird. A few days later, Mia surprised both me and Will when she came over and invited us to a party at her place. Will was excited to go, so I said yes. Mia had invited the whole class and we were having a blast dancing when suddenly a slow song started playing. Will pulled me close and we swayed to the slow beats. My heart was racing a bit and he smiled down at me with those adorable dimples. And suddenly he kissed me, and not like one of our fake kisses. I felt like the world around me had stopped. When he pulled back, I was breathless and I thought he looked shaken too.
Mia saw us kissing. I'm sure she must be burning with jealousy. Wait, she's coming our way. Be cool, Will.
Oh, so the kiss was for Mia. That shouldn't have hurt, but strangely it did.
Will, I wanted to talk to you for a moment.
He immediately let go of me and followed Mia. I just stood there like an idiot. When Will didn't return for half an hour, I went looking for him and found him in the kitchen washing dishes. Will, what's the matter with you? You left me alone for this?
Actually Mia's maid didn't turn up, so she asked me to help her. And guess what? She said she'd even think about getting back with me.
What? Suddenly, dozens of kids barged into the kitchen, along with Mia's boyfriend, who started recording Will on his phone.
Haha, this is your place, you loser. Can you come to my party next week? I'll pay you $50 to do the dishes.
Everyone started laughing, and just then Mia walked in too.
Stop it, you all! I asked Will to help me. He's just being a good friend.
But Will didn't say anything. He simply took off his apron and left. I decided to leave the party too, but suddenly Mia grabbed my arm.
Remember this. Will might pretend to like you, but I still have him wrapped around my finger. He'll do anything for me, and I can have him back anytime I want.
So you're just going to keep stringing him along. You're a witch, Mia! And guess what? When I was looking for Will earlier, I saw your boyfriend making out with another girl in the bathroom. And I wasn't even lying. Those two jerks deserved each other. When I reached home, I marched straight up to Will's room angrily. How do you feel making a complete fool of yourself?
Well, Mia did side with me.
Oh, stop it! Do you seriously think she wants to get back with you? She's manipulating you. Are you blind?
What's your problem? Don't you want me to get back with Mia so that you can just get your money and leave?
You're pathetic, Will. Know your own worth and have some self-respect, dude.
I don't remember asking you for a lecture on how to live my life.
Fine, do whatever you want. Date Mia, marry her, whatever. I don't care. I slammed the door hard and stormed off to my room. Idiot. The next day, I didn't even sit with Will at lunch, and I felt even madder when I saw Mia walk up to him.
Will, I broke up with my boyfriend. The jerk was cheating on me, and I was a fool not to realize how amazing you were. Can we get back together? I know you still care.
Well, I'm not too sure about that anymore. I'm done being your backup plan, Mia. Good luck with your life, but I'm not interested anymore.
Mia looked stunned, and Will just walked out. That was amazing. When I reached home that day, I found Will waiting for me in my room with an envelope in his hands.
You kept your part of the deal. Now it's my turn.
I took the envelope, and when I opened it, my eyes almost popped out. It was a check for $20 million. How did you manage to do this?
Let's just say I'm Mom's only weakness, so it wasn't that difficult.
Thank you. I guess now there is no reason for me to stay back any longer. Will looked at me and then spoke.
I guess there isn't. I'll drop you at the airport when you're ready.
Soon I flew back to Italy, and Mom and I started our own perfume business with that money. Thankfully, it took off, and I also started getting acting offers once things settled down. One day, while I was shooting, I noticed a familiar face in the crowd. A face I'd been dying to see again. Will, what are you doing here?
Listen, Isabella, I know I suck at writing songs, but I have to say this.
Oh, please, not a song.
Just listen. No matter what I do, I'm always thinking of you. You're stuck in my head like glue, and I think I'm in love with you.
You're such a doofus, Will, and I love you too.
Hi, I'm Olivia from Florida. Please like and subscribe. My mom always told me the day I was born was quite an exciting one. At the hospital, when she held me for the first time, she gasped at my eyes. They were midnight blue in the center, with a light blue ring outside. The nurses were stunned too, and, well, a bit confused.
Blue eyes are rare, and you both have brown eyes. Quite unusual.
What are you trying to say, woman? You think this isn't our child? Did you cause a mix-up in the nursery?
No, of course not, sir. I was only saying...
How about you keep your useless opinions to yourself? Her eyes are nothing special to talk about.
And for some reason, it always really annoyed him when people noticed and talked about my eyes, which was every time they met me. And as I grew older, I started realizing that I had a strange power. I could get what I wanted using my eyes. Let me give you an example. Once, when I was 6, I went with my parents to their friend's house who had twins my age. I could tell the boy was really sweet, but the girl didn't like me much. When she left the room for a while, the boy climbed onto her bunk bed and returned with a beautiful doll.
Her eyes are just like yours. I think you should have her.
Oh, wow. Really? Thank you so much.
Hey, thief, you can't have my doll.
But your brother gave it to me. It even looks like me.
It's not his, it's mine. And it looks nothing like you. Witch, let go.
I pulled harder, and suddenly the doll's head snapped off. The girl burst into tears and went running to her parents. Oh boy, I'd be in so much trouble with Dad. Suddenly, I looked deep into the boy's eyes.
And that's what he said, word for word.
The girl's parents apologized to me and scolded her. Over time, I just couldn't help using my eyes more often to get my way. Sometimes I knew it was wrong, but it was just too easy. I only had to look at people with my big baby blues, and teachers would help me. During exams, people would give up their seats on the bus, and if someone got the last hot dog at lunch before me, they were sure to surrender it. By the time I was in high school, I was quite popular with the boys and had my girl gang too. But I knew I wasn't well liked by the mean girls, especially the head cheerleader, Emma. She was the girl whose doll I'd broken as a kid, and she hated me since one day in 9th grade, a group of cheerleaders and jocks in the cafeteria were talking about a cool new movie they were going to watch that weekend. It sounded like fun, and I wanted an invite, so I walked straight up to this boy, Zach. "Hey guys, I was wondering if I could tag along to the movies with you this weekend." Zach hesitated, and then he looked directly into my eyes. I knew what his answer would be.
Of course, Olivia.
"Thanks, Zach. You're a sweetheart."
Did you just invite her to the movies without asking any of us?
What's the big deal? I don't think anyone has a problem.
The rest just shrugged, and Emma glared at me before storming off. I was still grinning when I walked over to my locker later, and I found her waiting there.
You're not going to the movies? No way. I don't care what Zach said. You're uninvited.
What are you going to do? Ban my entry into the cinema? You can't. So I'll see you there. I turned to leave, but she knocked my books out of my hand and stepped on them. I grabbed her by the hair, and we broke into a catfight. We both ended up in the principal's office.
And she immediately called our parents.
I didn't do anything. She started it.
I hadn't even touched her. She pulled my hair.
The principal also called in a few witnesses from the hallway, and luckily for me, it was a bunch of boys I knew. I only had to look at them, and they all said Emma was to blame.
No way. She can't get away with everything just by batting her dumb eyes. She looks like an angel, but she's a lying witch who has everyone dancing to her tune.
But Emma got detention while I was let off with just a warning. On the car ride home, though, Mom and Dad were really quiet. But Emma got detention while I was let off with just a warning. On the car ride home, though, Mom and Dad were really quiet.
You've always tried to get your way by manipulating people ever since you were a kid. Now it seems worse than I thought.
Okay, so people are sometimes nice to me and do what I ask. What's so wrong with that?
We'll talk about this tomorrow. You are grounded for a week.
What? Why the heck?
Olivia, enough. You heard what your dad said.
But the next morning, I found them waiting for me in the dining room with a small box on the table. What's this?
Something to cover up your eyes. You need to learn that life isn't so easy, and you can't just get whatever you want.
Inside the box were brown contact lenses. They were the color of mud. Are you kidding me? You think I'm going to wear those?
You have to wear them if you want to continue going to school.
With angry tears, I grabbed the box and ran out of there. It took me a few tries to wear the contacts, but I finally managed, and I hated what I saw staring back at me in the mirror. It wasn't me. At school, I was hoping by some miracle no one would notice, but of course, everyone did.
Why are your eyes suddenly brown? Did your evil spell finally wear off once you got all your wishes?
Everyone's comments made things hard because it felt really embarrassing to say my dad was making me wear brown lenses. I made up some lame excuse about how the doctor had recommended them for an eye condition, but it didn't seem to convince anyone. And suddenly, no one seemed to care about me much. Luckily, a month later, Dad's job caused him to transfer to another state. A fresh start was exactly what I needed. No one in school there would ever know I had blue eyes before. But it was quite strange walking into this new place and not having anyone pay much attention to me. My classmates seemed pleasant enough, but everyone just went off with their groups at lunch. I was sitting outside having lunch under a tree when someone dropped down next to me.
Hello, mind if I join you?
You already have, and I don't mind at all.
Good, because I'm too tired to get up anyway.
Plus, I've been waiting for someone new to show up for ages. All these other girls just talk about boys and makeup, and they think they're from another planet. Or they think I'm from another planet. Her name was Grace, and I warmed up to her instantly. We quickly became close friends, but I just couldn't tell her my stupid secret. A few weeks later, we were sitting on the gym floor, making decorations for an event, when some guys started playing basketball. And suddenly, the ball came flying at me and hit me smack in the face. I opened my eyes, and looking down at me was a gorgeous boy with black hair and the deepest blue eyes ever had. I died and gone to heaven.
Hey, are you okay?
Of course she's not okay, you moron. You could have killed my best friend.
Grace pulled me up, but my knees gave way, and the boy swept me up effortlessly. He carried me to the bleachers and said he'd be back with some water.
Olivia, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I see. Yeah, you aren't fine. And if he has his way, you never will be again.
What do you mean? Just then, the boy returned with a water bottle and knelt beside me.
Really sorry. We should have been more careful.
Oh, don't worry. I don't mind. I mean, it's just a ball, not a rocket. Now that would hurt. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I have a concussion, but I'm okay. O-Y-A-K. See? I can still spell. He just smiled at me and ran off to his friends. What a blubbering idiot. I turned to Grace and saw she'd already left. Later that night, I got permission from my parents to stay over at Grace's. So tell me, what do you know about the gym boy?
That's Levi. He's my older brother.
You're what now?
Yeah, I know. Different set of genes. But Olivia, he's a heartbreaker. He changes girlfriends faster than he changes underwear. He knows he's good looking, and he uses it to make girls like him. And then bam, 2 weeks later, some girl is crying in the school bathroom and he's got a new girlfriend.
Really? But he seems sweet.
How would you know? He's my brother, and I'm telling you, he's a jerk.
Is he here, like, right now?
Yeah. But you don't want to talk to him, right? You're here to have a slumber party with me, and I just told you.
He's a jerk. Right. Gotcha.
But I couldn't get Levi off my mind.
Grace messaged me on Monday that she had the flu and wasn't coming to school, and I decided this was a great chance to talk to her brother. On the bus, I was thinking about what I'd say to him when someone sat down next to me.
Sorry, seats in the back are full.
Holy lady luck! It was Levi! But it seemed like he hadn't recognized me and just started reading a book. Ahem, what you readin'? He turned the cover to me without looking my way. Oh, nice. I've never read that.
Okay, good to know.
Wow, he did seem like a bit of a jerk, but I wasn't giving up yet. If it's good, maybe I'll read it. I'm the girl from the gym, by the way. The one you hit with the basketball.
I know that. I didn't have memory loss. It's just that you're Grace's BFF and she told me to stay away from you.
That's strange. She didn't say anything to me. And why can't we all be friends? Grace was down with some virus and couldn't attend school for 2 weeks, and I ended up spending all my time with Levi. He was gorgeous, but he was also funny and thoughtful, and I just couldn't help liking him. And I had a feeling he liked me too. But when Grace returned, she was furious seeing us together.
So what? You've replaced me with Levi now?
Of course, I haven't. You weren't here, and we just started hanging out.
And now you're in love with him, aren't you? Even after what I said? Doesn't take anyone too long to fall in love with Levi. He gets anything he wants.
I was upset that Grace was mad, but I didn't want to give up on Levi either. Later that day, as I was running an errand, I passed by a cafe window and stopped in my tracks. Levi was sitting there with some blonde girl I'd never seen before. He suddenly spotted me, and I started walking away quickly.
Olivia, please stop. It's not what it looks like.
It's none of my business, Levi, so no need to explain. I obviously misread some signs. You should go back to your girlfriend. 2 weeks, and it's time for a new girl. Yeah, just like Grace said.
She said what?
That you're a heartbreaker, and that you change girls faster than clothes, and that I should stay away from you.
Olivia? She made that up. Okay, I went out with her best friend a year ago, but things ended badly between us. She blocked out Grace, too, and moved away. And it broke Grace's heart. In fact, that girl in the cafe is my ex. She's in town and wanted to return some things, and you didn't misread any signs. I like you a lot, and I was planning to ask you to the winter dance.
I need to talk to Grace first. Okay. I had a heart-to-heart with Grace, and she admitted that she'd lied about Levi.
I know he's a good guy, but I don't want to lose another friend.
Pinky swear, no matter what happens between me and your brother, we'll stay friends forever. We decided to go shopping together for the winter dance, and I found a beautiful blue dress. As I looked in the dressing room mirror, I suddenly took my contacts out and called Grace.
What happened to your eyes?
I told her all about how I'd get whatever I wanted because of my eyes. So my parents made me cover them up.
That is ridiculous. They can't make you do that.
I know, but maybe it hasn't been the worst thing. I got you and Levi, and it has nothing to do with my eyes. But yeah, I think I just want to be myself now. When I got home, I walked into the lounge where my parents were watching TV.
What have you done?
I'm tired of covering up my real eyes. This is who I am, and I won't hide it anymore. I'm done with your controlling nonsense.
You'll do what I say as long as you live under my roof.
Then maybe I won't live under your roof. I went upstairs to gather my things so I could go stay at Grace's house when suddenly Mom came in.
I need to show you something.
She pulled out contacts from her eyes, and they were the brightest blue, just like mine.
Your dad hated the attention I attracted, and after we got married, he made me cover them up. But you're brave to stand up for yourself, and I don't want to let you down again. I'm leaving with you.
We packed our things and left Dad for good. We checked into a hotel until we could find a place. But for the first time, I saw Mom happy and free. The next day, I put on my blue dress for the dance, and Levi came to pick me up.
Grace told me about your eyes. You look beautiful.
You think so?
Yeah. But no matter what color they are, I'd think that anyway.
Hi, I'm Layla, and I figured out 2 things very early in life. 1, my older sister Fiona is dumb, and 2, she really hates me. Fiona is a year older than me, but it didn't take me too long to catch up with her. I was talking before she did, and I learned how to read while she was still struggling with the alphabet. My parents loved showing me off, and I think it really bothered Fiona.
Sweetie, why don't you recite the poems you learned for our guests?
Layla, tell your aunt the cool thing that you read in your encyclopedia yesterday.
Just then, Fiona came running, wearing her bathing suit over her clothes.
Look at me! I look like a mermaid in my baby soup!
Your what?
My baby soup, Mom. Baby soup? This, You don't understand anything I say. Oh, just help me take it off. It's stuck in my limbo.
I think she's saying her bathing suit is stuck in her elbow, Mom.
Oh, I see, Layla. You're so bright, silly Fiona.
Did I mention that? I sometimes taught Fiona the wrong words because it was funny when she sounded stupid? Yeah, I'm not very proud of that now, but that's not the only reason she hated me. I was the only one in my family with red hair, and my parents loved it, especially Mom, who would do all sorts of hairstyles.
Layla, your hair looks so magical. Let's try braids today.
You know why it looks magical? Because she's a leopard clown.
You mean a leprechaun? She told me all the time that my parents pretended to like my red hair, so I wouldn't feel bad.
When you were born, Mom and Dad cried tears of ugliness for days. They even tried to give you up for adoption. No one wanted you.
And one time she even tried to chop my hair off. And things got worse when in 8th grade she failed a class and ended up being with me. As if our parents weren't enough, our history teacher, Miss Sheldon, loved comparing her to me in front of everyone.
Your assignment is just appalling, Fiona. Did you see your sisters? Magnifique! Why can't you be more like her? Didn't you do any research?
What's there to research? Someone ugly said something dumb to someone boring a long time ago, and then some lame war broke out. Who cares about this stuff?
A person who wants to have an educated mind?
Who cares what's on the inside when the package is this pretty?
Looks are not important.
Huh? That's ugly people talk. Did your boyfriend ever say that? Oh, wait. I bet you've never had one.
Detention. Now.
The next day before history class, I saw Fiona putting a mug of coffee on Miss Sheldon's table. While everyone else was snickering, I was instantly suspicious. Fiona, what are you up to?
What? I'm just trying to make up for my behavior yesterday.
What did you put in there?
I don't know. Maybe some spit, maybe some laxative, maybe both. Who can say?
Just then, Miss Sheldon walked in, and Fiona handed her the mug sweetly with an apology. But I tried taking it away from her. I really don't think you should have that.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
Why? Is there something in the coffee? Layla, tell me now.
No, I just don't think you need to drink coffee. It gives you really bad breath. Give that to me, please. I ended up spilling the whole thing on her white coat.
Oh my God, you dumb butt kisser. You ruined my whole plan.
The next thing I knew, I was in detention too, with Fiona for the very first time in my life. But suddenly, Fiona was freaking popular. No one liked Miss Sheldon much, and everyone thought Fiona was super cool for trying to mess with her. And now she was using her newfound power to turn everyone against me. She was the beautiful, fun blonde, and I was the red-haired, nerdy sister being called things like Carrot Top and Ketchup Head. Boy, could girls be mean. Eventually, the teasing got old, or I just learned to ignore it. But soon I was given an assignment in history class to do a presentation on Scotland. The more I studied, the happier I felt. There were so many cool red-headed Scots, and I definitely felt better about my hair. Before class, I went to the bathroom to change into a kilt. I had spent hours making it just for the presentation. But just then, my sister walked in. She pulled out her phone and started taking pictures.
Going back home, leprechaun.
Buzz off, Fiona!
You look so stupid. What is that? A cool girl skirt?
It's a kilt. Get out of my way!
You can't leave yet. Leprechauns can't travel without a rainbow.
With that, she pulled out some paints from her backpack and squirted them all over my outfit. I ran out of the bathroom, crying angry tears. Fiona did get detention, but it was her millionth time, and she didn't give a hoot. The next year, I got a fresh start. Our dad had gotten a new job across the state, which meant I was going to a new high school. I was determined to end the teasing that my red hair gave me. Hey, Mom, now that I'm 16, I think I should get to make some choices about my hair. I'd like to change the color.
But your hair is beautiful, sweetie.
I know you like it, Mom, but I just want to try something a little more mature, you know?
I guess if that's what you want, you're growing up so fast.
Thanks, Mom! I ran straight to the store and bought a box of black hair dye, and it worked. My hair was dark and silky. No more red.
Do you think that'll fool anyone? You can't cover up what you are, little leprechaun.
Whatever, Fiona. Don't you have something stupid to do? Go away!
Just saying. The truth always comes out.
The first day of school was like a dream come true. No one said anything about my hair. I blended right in and even got a few compliments on my cute outfit, which I'd added some accessories to myself. Fiona was right back in with the cheerleaders, but this was the first time she and I were in a co-ed school, and being around boys was making her even dumber.
The football captain and I went out last night, but he never called or texted me back. I don't get it. I think he was even hiding from me in school.
Okay, how did the date go?
It was amazing, like we were meant to be. There was just one awkward moment when this weird girl came to our table and started flirting with him. And I bit her hand really hard. I'm sure she got the message that he's not interested in her. He was just too nice to say it.
You scared him off, you psycho! How about you don't act like a jealous, blood-sucking vampire next time? But she continued her serial dating and getting heartbroken, and I was getting sick of her stories. It's not like she took my advice. Other than that, school was going great. I was doing well in my classes and had even joined the drama club as a costume designer. A play was being held soon, but the main actor fell ill right before the performance. I had to make sure his understudy fit in the costume, but I didn't even recognize him. I ran frantically through the dressing room shouting, "Hey! Is there anyone named Skylar here?"
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I need you to take off your clothes right now. He grinned, and I blushed as people around us started laughing. I didn't... Okay, wait. Let me start over. You need to try this on right now, and I have to make sure this fits you. I'm the costume person, not a pervert.
I know, I've seen you around, Layla. Right. I'll just change into this and be right back.
This Skylar was freaking cute, and he knew my name. His shirt was missing a button, and my heart was skipping beats as I stitched it on. There! You're all set!
Thanks, Layla. Wish me luck!
Break your legs! A leg? Only one? Single! Just a figure of speech, anyway. Ugh, gosh, I sounded dumber than Fiona. So I was quite surprised when Skylar came and sat next to me at recess the next day. He was funny and sweet, and I was having a great time talking to him.
By the way, I'm part of the student council, and currently we're deciding on a theme for the homecoming dance. Any ideas? I can never think of anything other than sports themes.
If you like sports, maybe you could do the Scottish Highland Games.
Wow, I love Scottish stuff. This is a really good idea. Thanks, Layla.
Just then, Fiona dropped her butt right next to him.
Mind if I join your table? I'm Fiona, Layla's sister.
Don't mind at all.
Also, I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. Homecoming is all about the football games. We should totally do a varsity theme. I'll wear my cheerleading outfit. It'll be so cool.
I was fuming. I couldn't believe she was butting herself into this too. Didn't she have enough guys to date? They just couldn't let me be happy. I spent the rest of lunch just sitting there and listening to them talk about school sports. A couple of weeks passed, and neither Skylar nor Fiona talked to me. But I was busy with my studies and my friends, and I was happy for a change. I wasn't going to be bothered by some guy I barely knew. But then one day, Skylar stopped me in the hall on the way to class.
Hey Layla, wait up. Sorry, I haven't been around much. I've been super busy getting everything ready for homecoming week.
Oh yeah, it's whatever. I've been really busy too.
Well, I hope you're not too busy to maybe go to the dance with me. If you aren't going with anyone else.
The dance? With you? I'd love to.
Great, I'll meet you there.
I couldn't believe it. No teasing, new friends, and even a date to homecoming? I was practically skipping everywhere the rest of the day until I got home.
Word around school is that Skylar asked you to homecoming?
Yeah, and?
Well, I'm here to tell you that he isn't going with you. He is going with me.
Says who?
Says this.
She held up her phone and showed me the picture she had taken of me in a kilt with my bright red hair. Hey, get rid of that!
Tell him you can't go with him, or I show this picture to the entire school.
No, don't you dare!
It's up to you.
Fine. I didn't want to go to that stupid dance anyway. The next day at school, I told Skylar I wasn't going to go to the dance with him. He tried to change my mind, but there was no way I was going to let him see that picture of me. He looked a bit hurt, and I felt awful, but I didn't have a choice. The night of the dance, I tried to stay home. But the thought of Fiona laughing and having fun with Skylar made me feel like I might explode. I quickly got ready, then sped my car to the dance. I burst through the doors and saw Fiona dancing, surrounded by her friends. But I didn't see Skylar anywhere. Just then, there was a hand on my shoulder.
Layla, I thought you couldn't make it.
Yeah, me too, 'cause I was scared.
Scared of what?
Of you finding out the truth. Fiona was beside us with her phone in her hand. Within a few seconds, everyone's phones were going off, including Skylar's. He pulled it out of his pocket and opened a message. And there was that picture of me. She had sent it to everyone.
Wait, is that you, Layla?
You know what? Yeah, that is me. I dyed my hair black, but it's actually red as a tomato. And if you hate it, then you're all just shallow and stupid.
Hate it? I love it.
What? What?
Layla, you're cool the way you are.
So are you. May I have this dance? You may just give me 1 second, though. Listen, you bimbo. I've kept putting up with you and making excuses for your behavior, but I've had enough. You tried your best to humiliate me, but it was an epic failure, so in your face. Now please get a life and act less desperate, and I'm sure you'll be able to land a boyfriend with the same IQ as you. Just leave me alone, okay? That weekend, I took the dye out of my hair, and Fiona dyed hers red. But it wasn't real, not like mine. I was beautifully red-headed and very happy to be me.
Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm from New Jersey. I was born to loving parents just 3 years after my older sister Aurora. The whole family celebrated my birth, and Aurora and I were inseparable. She always had me glued to her, and we did everything together. But as I got older, our parents realized something was wrong with me. I couldn't hear them. I only reacted if they spoke really loudly or really close to me. They rushed me to the doctor, and we found out that I had a problem in my ears that made me nearly 70% deaf. A surgery would fix this issue, but I had to be much older to go through it safely. So I grew up deaf in a world full of sound. While Aurora enjoyed music, laughter, and went to school like everyone else, my parents decided to homeschool me with an army of special tutors.
There's schools for kids just like her?
Yes, but she's our special girl, and we want to give her all our attention.
Aurora had a life I dreamed of every day. She got to have heaps of friends while I was too scared to talk to the kids in my neighborhood. I once got jealous watching Aurora dance to music. My parents went out of their way to make me feel better. They bragged about me all the time.
Scarlett is beautiful, and she's a genius. She did her speech therapy in record time.
Mom, I topped my entire grade. Look at my report card.
That's nice, dear. Scarlett can lip read too, you know. Show them. It's such a fun game.
I got ready to show off my skills, but Aurora suddenly got up, threw her report card on the table, and ran into her room. What was the matter with her? I was too wrapped up in my life to understand it. But Aurora started having little meltdowns all the time. She hated that my parents always let me choose our vacation spots, choose where to eat, and bought me anything I pointed at. When Aurora asked for the same things, my parents just told her to share mine.
That's not fair. Why can't I have what she has?
We can share. I have like 100 clothes.
I'm talking to Mom.
I didn't want Aurora to hate me, so I sent her some pretty dresses as a gift. She sent them back to me, all cut up in pieces. Are you kidding me? When I reached the 7th grade, I was finally ready to get my surgery, and all my parents could do was worry about it. Even I was a little scared, but Aurora couldn't care less. She was a school topper and a cheerleader now. She was also best friends with the richest girl in town, Kat. Her dad was so powerful, he employed half the adults here. Aurora spent all her time lounging in Kat's huge pool house. Even though Kat was the worst, she was super mean and controlling. She even gave her friends strict guidelines on how to dress. One time, Aurora wore the wrong shoes with an evening dress, and her friends ditched her. Kat is a moron. You shouldn't be friends with her.
Mind your own business, turd.
I still hoped that Aurora and I would be normal sisters after my surgery. But the day I went to the hospital, she didn't even show up. I went into the hospital with my heart burning with anger. If Aurora didn't care about me, then I didn't care about her anymore. When I woke up from surgery, I couldn't stop weeping. My parents' voices, the doctor's voices, and my own voice. Everything was setting me off. It took time and effort. But with my parents' support and therapy, I slowly got used to living in a sea of sound. On my first day of joining regular school, my heart was hammering. I'd literally taken my first few steps into the hallway when I saw the most beautiful girl in the entire world just casually standing by the lockers. She was looking right at me, and her mouth was moving. I read her lips without even trying. Did you just say I'm pretty?
What? How did you hear that?
I have good ears. I'm Scarlett.
I'm Marina.
I shook her hand, and my heart wanted to dance. She was actually going to be in my classes. School was exciting. It was a little weird making friends when I could still lip read. I was only 40% accurate, but that was enough to accidentally see some awkward things. I just pretended I knew nothing. But one day I saw two of our teachers talking, and I couldn't help but stare. They were talking about giving us a surprise test tomorrow. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I just prepared alone, right? So I told everyone in my class what was going to happen. Marina looked really surprised.
But how did you know?
I can lip read, just a little bit. I used to be deaf.
Wow, really?
A literal crowd jumped on me all of a sudden. People had a million questions about my life. Everyone wanted to play the lip reading game. They would mouth dumb things at me, and I had to guess. Banana olive juice? No, I love you. Aw, you're just saying. La 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 la. The whole class was rolling in laughter. I had no idea I was so fun. By the end of the day, I got invited to 3 different sleepovers. I was really enjoying my new popularity. Until one day when I learned a secret I couldn't forget. Aurora was hanging out with Kat and a gang of cheerleaders, and I saw them mouthing the words spray paint and plan. That made me curious, so I sneaked closer to them to hear what they were saying. Kat was planning to vandalize the school building this weekend, and she was making her friends help her. When I reached home, I went into Aurora's room to talk to her alone. I know what Kat is planning to do this weekend.
You little sneak! How did you know? Did you lip read us?
It doesn't matter. You can't go spray painting buildings with her. She's gonna get you in trouble.
Mind your own business.
Why do you let that jerk push you around?
That jerk's dad is literally our dad's boss. She's really powerful.
So let her get in trouble alone. She refused to listen to me. I didn't know what to do. But I couldn't let her get mixed up with that awful girl anymore. So I told my parents what she was about to do. Her bully of a friend is gonna make her vandalize the school. My parents were furious at Aurora. They yelled at her and then grounded her for the next 2 weeks.
You told on me. Isn't it enough that you're our parents' favorite? You just had to do this.
Aurora, if you get caught, you could get suspended or even expelled.
As if you care about what happens to me. Stay out of my life.
Aurora shut me out hard. After that, she ignored me at home and in school. That Monday, the principal announced that Kat and her group had been caught ruining school property, and they all got suspended. I thought that would soften Aurora's temper, but she still didn't want to talk to me. I couldn't stay upset about it for too long, because one day I opened my lockers to see flowers and a note inside. It was from Marina.
Too shy to say it in person, but ever since we met, I can't stop thinking about you. Want to go out with me?
I was so happy I was gonna faint. A real-life fairy just asked me out. I texted her yes and literally floated on air for days. I was so nervous on my first ever date that my hands were shaking. I even spilled a soda all over us. But that was the moment she chose to surprise me and kissed me. She was just perfect. Marina was funny, clever, and even my parents loved her. Our relationship was pure and blissful until we reached the 9th grade, and she finally introduced me to her mom. That was instant hate. Her mom didn't want her dating a girl, and it showed. She asked Marina to dump me, and when she didn't, she started ignoring her. She bought her siblings presents and took them to dinners. But she purposefully left Marina out. I hated to see Marina upset, and I foolishly thought if her mom got to know me, she'd like me. So, for Marina's birthday, I set up a family picnic in the park as a surprise. But Marina's mom spent the whole time bragging about her siblings.
My son has a new job, and my eldest daughter is going to college with a scholarship. I'm so proud of you both.
Mom, I won an art contest last month.
Art contest? Ha ha! Sounds lame. Your sister won a science scholarship.
Bitter tears filled Marina's eyes, and she stormed off in a huff. She worked hard on that contest, and you called it lame just to hurt her. You're insane. I went after Marina and saw her weeping, and suddenly it reminded me of Aurora getting ignored by our parents. Unlike Marina's mom, my parents didn't give me more attention to hurt Aurora. But the end result looked exactly the same. My parents were wrong for how they treated Aurora. I was just too mad at her for not being there for me, and I couldn't see it until now. Aurora still avoided me at home and at school, but it finally made sense to me, and we didn't speak again until the evening of the spring dance. Marina and I wore the prettiest dresses and were so excited to go to our first dance together. But we'd only been there for an hour when Marina's mom showed up.
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to see all the handsome boys you rejected to date this rude girl. That one. Oh, that one.
Mom, stop it. You can't be here.
You can't date this girl. She called your own mother insane.
That's because you are insane.
People were staring at us, and someone even turned the music down.
My daughter never spoke to me this way before you came along. I hate you.
Her mom picked up the bowl of punch, and she was gonna throw it at me. I prepared myself for the splash, but suddenly, Aurora flew in between us and pushed her away. Marina's mom went flying back right into a table of food. The entire hall watched her in pin-drop silence before exploding into whispers and laughter.
Call the principal. His students attacked me. They're crazy.
The teachers were furious at Aurora for pushing her and disrupting the dance. They gave her 6 weeks of detention and called our parents to pick us up. When we got home, they tried to yell at Aurora, but I stopped them. Marina's mom deserves everything she got. You should be proud of Aurora for standing up for me.
She stood up for you this one time. Before this, she was planning to vandalize buildings. And before that, she was constantly fighting with you.
That's you. Your fault, not hers. Yeah, you heard me. You were so eager to make me feel good, you ignored Aurora since we were kids. That's why she hated me.
We may have given you more attention, but we loved you both equally.
No way. You acted like I didn't even matter. Nothing I ever did was good enough for your praise, while you wrote actual songs about Scarlet.
Aurora, you were healthy. Topping your classes, cheerleading, making friends. You didn't need us as much as she did.
That's not true. I was upset. Making friends with bullies and getting into trouble. I would be suspended or expelled if it weren't for Scarlet. I'm a mess. If you loved me as much as you loved Scarlet, you would have seen that.
Aurora burst into tears while my parents looked stunned.
We did take your achievements for granted. And yes, we were more worried about your sister. But we love you both the same.
Then why don't you act like it?
We didn't want Scarlet to be jealous of your life. We worried about her getting hurt in a million ways, but that's not an excuse. If we let you think for even a second that we didn't love you, then we really messed up. I'm so sorry, Aurora.
We love you both more than our own lives. We're sorry we haven't shown it. We'll do better from now on.
Aurora grabbed my parents in a hug, and I wiped my tears off and joined them too. Hi, my name is Labu, and I was born to 2 lawyers in Connecticut. Please like and subscribe. Ever since I could remember, I was told 2 things about me. First, I was really beautiful, like Disney princess, movie star beautiful. And second, something was seriously wrong with me. I was different from every single person around me, even my parents. It started with small incidents, like Mom asking me how she looked in a really hideous dress. I told her the truth. Yuck, your dress looks like poop.
I've been wearing this all day.
Oh, she doesn't mean it.
Yes, I do. You should throw that dress away, Mama. Mom burst into tears.
Labu, that's a bit too honest.
But she asked me.
Just say, you don't look good, okay?
I didn't understand why I had to lie, And it turns out in life, you're supposed to lie all the time. Like in 3rd grade, when my dad had his boss over for dinner, I said, "I know you. Dad says you're the stupidest, craziest boss in the world. Why are you like that?" He lost it, yelled at Dad, and then made him work for 4 weekends straight. Dad loved me too much to be mad at me, and he tried to explain the rules again. I really tried to learn them. But I was simply different. By the time you're in 6th grade, everyone in class will start cracking jokes and playing pranks. If you're like me and you can't tell when people are lying, it will be a nightmare. The worst offender was my classmate, Reno. He was the son of crazy rich politicians, and he thought he could get away with anything. He was always pulling pranks on students and teachers, and he never got more punishment than detention. One time, as a joke, he said his parents were secretly spies. I was the only idiot at the table who believed him. I started taking careful notes about every juicy, totally made-up detail. It was only when everyone was laughing that he said he was lying. You made all that up? Are you bored or crazy?
You really couldn't tell I was joking? Amazing!
She's like a stupid robot.
Hey, I know you. Your parents are my dad's clients. My dad's a divorce lawyer. The girl looked at me like I was a ghost.
My parents are getting divorced?
Yes! Didn't they tell you? She just ran away.
So beautiful, yet so heartless.
What? People were inching away from me, looking disturbed. Did I say something wrong?
You're fascinating. Are you from another planet?
I didn't have time for his jokes. By the end of the day, the whispers were everywhere.
Labu's scary. She's pretty, but she's crazy.
Labu's the rudest witch on the planet! My tongue was cursed. It either made people hate me or fear me. By the time I was in 11th grade, even my teachers wanted to shut me up. One time, a teacher started yelling at me for correcting her in the middle of class. Why should everyone note down the wrong answer just so you don't feel bad?
I wish your manners were as nice as your face.
I wish you wore a nicer wig. We can all tell you're bald.
Detention now.
Whatever. I was fine being weird, Labu, with no friends. I understood science and math more than humans, and that was enough for me. The only person who wasn't scared of me was Reno. He was always ready to pull stupid pranks on me while we were stuck in detention. In a way, I admired him. Reno got to be as weird as he wanted, and he was still great at making friends. That's when I got an idea. Reno, you've always been weird.
Excuse me?
You know you lie all the time. You get poor grades, and you're always in detention.
Wow.
You have issues, but you are still popular. How do you do that?
I'm handsome, rich, funny.
Listen, I really want to fit in and have fun in our last 2 years here. Think about exactly how you make friends and explain it to me like I'm 5.
That's gonna take time. I expect payment. You can do all of my homework?
Then I expect a proper friendship course with tests.
Then you need to call me Professor Reno.
I'm not doing that.
It's a deal breaker.
Fine, Professor Reno.
We struck a deal.
The next day, I met Reno in an empty classroom during lunch for my first lesson on becoming just like everyone else.
I've known you my whole life, and using my expert observations, I've made this course.
Wow.
It only has 4 chapters.
And if you get them all, you will be popular.
Let's do it.
Chapter 1. Jokes. Jokes are lies that make people laugh. You can't tell when people are lying, so just laugh if the other person laughs.
What if they're laughing at me?
Then look like you don't even care. Trust me.
We made a list of all the jokes I could use on people, and I practiced them on him for hours. It was hard to get the right tone. There was a new girl in my class, Stacy, and she hadn't heard any of the rumors about me yet. She was the perfect target for my new powers. I sat with her at lunch and rattled off joke after joke till she fell off her chair laughing.
Wow, Labu, you're gorgeous and funny. I'm having a sleepover tonight. You want to come?
Oh my God, my first sleepover. I was so excited, I literally rushed to tell Reno.
It's working already. Time for Lesson 2, Chapter 2, Casual Chats. Here is a list of acceptable topics you can talk about at a sleepover.
What can I talk about?
Nothing heavy, no depressing news, and no global warming. It bums people out.
But it's important.
I agree. I'm just telling you how to get along with them.
Fine. I tried to make use of the list at the sleepover, but it was hard. A few times I slipped up and said things that got me weird looks. I didn't even know why. So I just stayed quiet unless someone asked me a question. And I laughed when everyone laughed. Surprisingly, it worked. Stacy asked me to come for another sleepover. The next day, she went with me everywhere in school. When I saw Reno, I gave him a hug. I made friends. You're the best teacher ever. Thank you, Reno.
Professor Reno!
Oh, come on.
Chapter 3. Similar interests.
On Reno's instruction, I had to do things Stacy liked with her. She was a huge gossip, and even though it made me feel weird, it made her wildly popular in school. She lived at the mall, which was noisy and overwhelming to me. Still, I went with her and made friends with lots of other girls in my class. Then she dragged me from store to store trying on clothes till I was exhausted. But hey, everyone thought I looked stunning in my new outfits. I slept for 13 hours to recover from that day. And then Stacy dropped a bombshell on me. She wanted to set me up on a date.
He's in chemistry with me. He's super cute. In return, you can set me up with Reno. He's your friend, right?
Yeah, he is.
Well, he's totally hot and really popular. So I'll go out with him. Can you ask him for me?
I said yes and hung up. I was gonna go on my first date ever. I was panicking. I found Reno after school that day and pulled him into an empty classroom. We need an emergency lesson. Stacy set me up on a date.
Really? You want to go?
Yes, but I'm not ready for this. We never practice dates.
You want to practice a date with me?
I need quick tips. Other than jokes, casual talk, and similar interests. What can I use?
It's a date, so there's touching.
Where?
Just the arm or the hand or...
Like this?
Yes. You could give him a hug at the end of the date. Don't pat his head.
What else?
You could kiss him.
There was a long pause, and he just stared at me. He wasn't gonna say anything else. Okay, well, thanks for the tips. I patted his head and walked off. I turned right before the door and asked him if he'd go out with Stacy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she's cute.
Fine, whatever.
Stacy was over the moon for her date. She was gonna have no trouble. She was fun, pretty, and sociable. I, on the other hand, was a nervous wreck. When I met her friend James, he said,
"Wow, you're the prettiest girl ever."
Thanks, same to you. Oh, shut up, Labu, you moron. I just stayed quiet and touched his hand like a robot. It seemed to be working until Reno's Lamborghini pulled up in front of the restaurant. He walked with Stacy on his arm.
What? You guys are on your date here?
I told you where we're going.
I forgot. Well, the more the merrier.
They joined our table. Honestly, I was less nervous now that Reno was here, but that changed the second, third, and fourth time he just happened to crash my date. One time, we were all at a swimming pool together, and Reno was acting so weird. He kept competing with James over who got to share the swimming float with me, while Stacy was just glaring at both of them. What in the world was going on? On our next double date, the tension exploded. Stacy got a perfect hit on the piñata, and when she tried to kiss Reno, he dodged her. She hit the floor right on her face.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
You scared me!
It's our 5th date and you're dodging my kiss.
That's because he likes Labu.
What?
He's been hanging around you like a freaking shield.
Labu, is this true?
No, it's not. Tell them, Reno. Reno just stared at us. Why wasn't he saying anything? That's when his phone started ringing, and he ran to one side to answer it. He came back looking really freaked out.
But there's an emergency, I gotta go. Bye.
Sure, just make an excuse and leave. Ugh, jerk.
Stacy was so furious, she was gonna melt. I was worried. I'd never seen Reno look so scared. I called him many times, but he didn't pick up. He didn't even respond to my messages. When he wasn't in school the next day, I knew I had to go see him. That weekend, I went to Reno's mansion for the very first time. It was huge. I pretended he had a school emergency so his butler would let me in. I could hear crazy shouting from the house. I looked up to see Reno's parents arguing like there was no tomorrow. I only had to listen for a minute to know what happened. Reno's dad had been cheating with several different women, and now his parents were in a full-on battle. I tried to creep out of there, but Reno's dad spotted me.
Who is this? How did you get into the house?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm a friend of Reno's.
Labu, you can't be here.
Your parents are getting a divorce. Is this why you're not coming to school?
Yes, but you can't tell anyone.
I'm sorry. Your dad's a cheating jerk.
Excuse me. You don't know anything.
I literally heard you say cheated. So you're a jerk.
Get this girl out of my house.
I raced out of there before he really lost it. Reno was actually laughing.
No one's ever talked to him like that. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I think I'm in love with you.
My heart skipped a beat. What?
It's a joke.
Oh, good one. I left feeling really confused. Was he really joking? I shook the idiotic thoughts away. I was just happy he was okay. It would take Reno another week to get back to school, I was so excited to see him for our last lesson. But the night before, there was a knock on my door. I saw him standing outside, and he looked mad.
Who did you tell about my parents?
What?
Did you see the news?
He barged into my house and turned on the TV. His parents' faces were on the news with the headline, "The biggest cheating scandal in local government." No!
There's a sea of cameras outside my house. Who did you tell, Labu?
I'm sorry, Reno. I told Stacy.
You what?
You were missing for days, and she was hysterical. I had to tell her. She promised she'd keep it a secret.
Do you not understand people at all? Do you notice anything around you?
Your girlfriend was sobbing on my shoulder, begging to know what happened to you.
We haven't even kissed. I don't even like her. Do I have to spell every single thing out for you?
Yes, you do. This is who I am. This is what it takes to be friends with me. Reno stormed out of the house, and I couldn't hold back my tears. I'd done it again. It was my own fault for thinking I could ever understand all the rules. No matter how many classes I took, Reno didn't come back to school. When I saw Stacy, I grabbed her by the collar. Did you sell Reno out?
Yes, the news channel gave me a nice price for the story.
What is your problem?
Reno is a player just like his dad. And you were acting like my friend while flirting with him the whole time.
I wasn't.
It was obvious. You think you can steal him from me just because you're pretty?
You're delusional, and you might have ruined Reno's life.
Good, he deserves it.
I slapped Stacy across the face. I can't believe I tried so hard to be your friend. You're pathetic. I locked myself up at home. Thankfully, my parents let me take a few days off school to sit in guilt. Guilt for betraying Reno, for trusting Stacy, for being born a stupid, clueless dummy. This was the saddest I'd ever been. My parents decided to take me to a therapist. When I first learned that I had social communication disorder, I was scared. I wanted to get out of this. But once I met other fun, amazing people with my condition, I didn't feel so alone anymore. When I came back to school after my break, I had new energy and confidence. To my shock, I heard that Stacy was gone. When Reno's dad found out she leaked his scandal, he got her expelled from the school. Ha, karma! I searched for Reno all day, but I couldn't find him. Was he still skipping school? Then suddenly, it hit me. I found the closest teacher and said, "I'm gonna bunk all my classes today." What? Classes are boring and YouTube is God.
Well, there's no YouTube in detention.
The moment I entered the room and saw Reno's adorable face, I jumped on him. Reno!
Labu, you're back!
No hugging in detention? Sit far apart. Far.
We had to sit 3 seats away, but Reno still told me how things were at home. His dad had moved out, but they were doing better than before now. I told him all about my break. I am so sorry about everything, Reno. I know you must hate me, and I deserve it. I betrayed your trust.
I don't hate you. You didn't do it on purpose.
Still, I ruined everything.
My dad ruined everything. You just told the truth. It's not your fault. Everyone else lies.
So you're not mad at me?
Not after I yelled at you for something you can't control. I'm sorry about that.
Can we be friends again? I miss you so much.
What do you miss about me?
Your stupid pranks, your jokes, your smile. And I like myself better when I'm with you. Suddenly, Reno crossed the space between us and kissed me. Oh my God, want to go out with me?
Yes!
Good! He kissed me again, and our teacher screamed,
"No kissing in detention."